Welcome to this guide to Inside the Backrooms, Floor 1. This will feature all puzzles and how to progress further until we have reached Floor 2. In the beginning, you wake up in a labyrinth of yellow-colored walls where no one will hear your calls. Throughout these halls are arrows sloppily drawn upon the walls that may lead you to potential freedom. Follow these signs and you will come across a ladder that leads into a vent. Seeing as this is your only hope of freedom, you take the vent and venture into the unknown. You emerge into a large room, similar to the rooms in which you had been traversing before. On the left, there lies some lore, a few radios for you to talk to the boys, and a few bottles of almond water to keep you hydrated and healthy. On the right, some more lore, as well as a few bottles of pills to take the lingering depression away. As you make your way into the next room, your first real puzzle has finally come: how to use the elevator. You see 4 pillars on the left and 4 pillars on the right. On the right side, behind the pillars, are pound signs, showing that they are the order in which you press the buttons. Match up the one on the right pillar to the number that is on the opposite side, the left side, and then do the same for 2, 3, and 4, respectively. That will be the code for the elevator and your ticket to ride. After you are at your destination, the first step you will want to take is to get a flashlight, which are luckily located only a couple rooms away. Grab any pills and almond water that you see on your journey. You will likely use them. Now that you are well lit, let's talk a bit about the creatures you will encounter on this level. The first creature, let's call him the Cable Man. It is a humanoid that seems to be made of cable for some reason. It is believed that it has control of the place. When it is close, the environment of the rooms changes, and it seems to be attracted by electronic devices and radio frequencies. So when you are in the same area as it, be very careful. You don't want to attract your own death. The expedition team took this photo, where a wire creature appears prowling the rooms. One thing to note is, when the creature is near, the lights will turn red. Up next, we have entity number 3, the smiling face in the darkness. In the lurking darkness, these walls shelter something mysterious, a bright smiling thing that stands out from the shadows. Rumors say that it has a physical body that cannot be seen with the human eye. It is only known that it is attracted to all sources of light, and that if it traps you in the void, in the shadows, you will probably never see the light again. Remember, a smile does not always reflect peace, if not quite the opposite. This photo was taken on a darker area of the backrooms. Finally, the last creature you will encounter on level 1 is entity number 8, the Dog. A very strange creature has been spotted coming out from ducts in the back rooms. Its physiology resembles a dog with humanoid traits. It is known that it is very aggressive and dangerous, but also is very annoyed by noise and is intimidated by direct eye contact. So when you look at it face to face, be smart. There are times when running away doesn't help so much. Due to the fact that no one has managed to take a photo of the entity, the following drawing has been generated from several testimonies. Now that you know about these creatures, you should also keep an eye out for lockers that you may need to hide in if you were approached by one of them. Before we start, there are a few key items you should be on the lookout for while you are completing other puzzles. A VHS tape, miscellaneous body parts, clock hands, and a note with a time on it. You should write important notes like this down so you don't forget the information on them. Now on to the first puzzle. Let's start with the morgue. 9 bodies are placed here, with small metal bins near. The bins will be used for a later puzzle. You will find a locker in the morgue with a numberless keypad, and the key to the code is on the bodies. The bodies will have blood smeared on them in a random order. Look at the bodies from the entrance to the room, and you will find the code in the form of their bloody corpses. Enter the code, and you will receive a hammer, as well as a few goodies for the road. Now that we have the hammer, we can head to our next destination, the Vase room. You will use your newfound hammer to take your anger out on the many vases scattered about the room. As an added bonus, one of the vases will hold a red key inside, which you will need for the next puzzle. Make sure you open every drawer and locker that you come across, as they may contain future puzzle items or health items. The next step is to use this red key on a locked red door on the other side of the level. Keep an eye out for any loot along the way. After opening it, you will enter a hallway with 5 paintings. Crouch and look up, or look at the painting from the side, and you will see a letter. After getting the better of this puzzle, you should have 5 letters, and the code to a lockbox further down the hall. The lockbox will contain a speed boost and 4 fuses, which you will need in the next level. After completing this puzzle, you should have a few scattered body parts from the lockers and drawers you looted, and possibly the VHS tape and the clock hands, as well as the time note. For this next puzzle, you will need the clock hands and the time, so make sure you have gathered these before starting this. You may have come across a room with a projector and a piece of modern art floating in the air. You must reposition the modern art until the projection on the wall is in the shape of a horse. If you do it correctly, a door will appear. Journey through the door into the unknown. All that stands before you in this room is another dresser with a clock that sits atop it. Time to take stock and mount your hands upon the clock. Now you have the ability to change the time on the clock using the dials in the back to the time on your note. After setting your time correctly, a secret compartment in the back of the clock will open up, revealing a note with a code. This code is for a locked box in a room that is almost adjacent to the vase area. In this box is a set of pliers, which you will also need later. Now that you have almost everything to get to the next level, you must now progress. Take your VHS tape once you find it to the VHS player across the map and play it. It will give you 3 names, each one associated with a body part. Write this down or commit it to memory, and then make your way back to the morgue. Place the body parts that are needed into the correct tins, and then you'll be notified of a mirror breaking. You likely saw this mirror on the way to the VHS player. This is one of the final puzzles on this level. Enter the newly revealed hallway and you will see levers, and a door with 3 lights on it. Only 3 levers may be activated at once, so you have to do one at a time and keep checking back. If there is another player with you, they can sit at the door and tell you if the lever lights up the door or not. After doing your task correctly, the door will unlock, giving you many more goodies to pick up. It is most important that you pick up a radiation suit, a Geiger counter, and an extinguisher for the next puzzle. Make sure to equip the radiation suit, or you will die, even with it in your inventory. Head back in the direction of the vase room, and you will find a long hallway with plastic hanging from a doorway. This is an irradiated zone, which you may now enter. This is also easier with multiple players. Take your Geiger counter and search for high levels of radiation. If it has high levels, spray it with your extinguisher until the radiation levels are low. Once you have cleaned everything of radiation, you will hear an electronic door unlock and you may proceed. You're almost at the finish line for level 1. You just need the pliers from earlier to unchain the exit door, and then go ahead and unchain them. Stand on the button in the next room until the garage door is fully raised, and make a run for the room before it shuts again. Now, it's time for you to take a leap into level 2.